Welcome, everybody, to episode 4 of For the Collection. I, of course, am your host, Chris the Heat Matthews, and I'm one of your 3 hosts of the fantastic WrestleGeddon podcast. If you haven't checked that out, be sure to check that out. Link will be in the video description. So thank you. If you are into wrestling, you want to give that a listen. Appreciate it. So what's been going on since we last talked? It's been a little over a week now. God, there's a lot that happened. If wrestling figure collector, you know, the Nitro stage didn't reach its funding goal of 5,000. We'll talk a little bit about that here in a little bit. We'll get into some other news and local events, all that fun stuff. So let's kick it off here with of course some news. So let's jump over to that. All right. We're going to kick it off here. New McFarlane Superpowers, spotted on several websites for pre-order, like Big Bad Toy Store, Entertainment Earth, Amazon. So it looks like we're getting a new Batman and Robin. We're getting the Superpowers Batmobile. So looks like almost identical to the Kenner version of that Batmobile. Looks like we're getting that in the new McFarlane series. And we're also getting Wonder Woman's Invisible Jet, which is actually pretty cool. So, I never thought I'd be excited about clear plastic in the shape of a jet before, but hey, this is where we're at now. So, but it's pretty awesome. Like, I really can't say anything negative about it. It actually looks pretty cool. And the fact that we're getting an invisible jet as a vehicle in figure form is pretty awesome. So, what else we got here? Some more, Ninja Turtles reissues from Playmates have been spotted at Walmart. That includes Genghis Frog, Wingnut and Screwloose, the Rat King, and Baxter Stockman. Pictures of those in the wild have been floating around some of the Ninja Turtles toy groups on Facebook. So if you remember those, of course, you've seen them. So that's pretty cool, actually, to, me 41 years old. Like, I remember when the Turtles first hit the store shelves and walking into, stores that are long gone now, like Toys R Us, KB, Kmart, places like that, and seeing these Ninja Turtles figures on the shelf, and then the fact that I'm getting them again, and I can walk in there with my kids and go, oh my God, this is so awesome. There's the Ninja Turtles on the shelf. These are the same toys that I had as a kid. Of course, as you can see behind me, I have a bunch of them still, but, it's freaking awesome to be able to, your kids see that excitement that you had as a kid, seeing something that they enjoy too. So all 3 of my kids like Ninja Turtles too, and to see them go, oh my God, look at that, that Donnie that's on the shelf, or that Mikey, I don't have a Mikey yet. Can I get that one? So it's actually pretty cool. So lots of fun there. A couple more tidbits here, some wrestling news, wrestling figure news. The Headbangers, if y'all remember the Headbangers, Mosh and Thrasher, from the Attitude Era. Actually 2 of my favorites. Those guys are awesome. Real men wear skirts, and they definitely wore some skirts. So, they have actually signed nostalgia contracts or legends deals with WWE. So it looks like they will be getting some figures made in the near future, as well as some other merchandise, like t-shirts and, video game likenesses, all that fun stuff. So pretty excited for that. Those guys definitely deserve something. They're toyetic AF. Like, in my opinion, those guys had like different colored skirts you could put them in. Like, they had a few different like styles to their face paint, all that other stuff. So it's pretty cool to see the Headbangers finally get their dues, because it's been a while since they had figures. Like, I think the last figures that they had were the Bone Crunchers, honestly. I keep looking over to the right because they're actually sitting over here in a box of stuff that I need to get up on shelves. But yeah, they're very toyetic figures, and that is about time. It's well overdue for those guys. Props to Mosh and Thrasher, the Headbangers, for finally getting a Legends deal or a nostalgia deal and getting some new figures made to capitalize on that merch money. Now this one I'm going to talk to you with a heavy heart, because I was a backer for this. Obviously, the Mattel Nitro stage fell short. It was just under 4,000 backers when it ended this past Friday night. There's a lot of stuff that can be said about this as to why it failed, why it didn't succeed. It could be the price, it could be the figure selection. But at the end of the day, the team at Mattel went above and beyond to get us something, or attempt to get us something as awesome as this WCW Nitro stage. I know there's not like more people, a lot of people don't clamor for WCW like they do for like old school WWE stuff or even ECW. I'm one of the exceptions. I love WCW. It was one of my favorite wrestling shows to watch. I remember the first time I saw WCW, like being at my grandma's house. Because back then, like in the late 80s, early 90s, cable wasn't what it is today. It's not like you go to somebody's house and you have all the same channels because you all had the same cable the same cable company. It wasn't like that when I was a kid. So channels are only available in certain areas or, certain cable companies, where now you can get all these channels with, Spectrum or Comcast or DirecTV, Dish Network, AT&T, Google, all those people that offer these channels. So I had never seen WCW. I was at my grandma's house on a Saturday night, flipping through the channels, on our TV that she had in the basement. Cause that's where we went to watch TV. My grandma's house was in the basement. Which was a nice, like full bar setup that my grandfather had built down there. But I'm flipping through the channels and I see wrestling. I was like, what is this? This isn't WWF, because that's all I knew. That's all the wrestling I saw. But I stumbled upon WCW Saturday Night and I started watching it. Like I sat there like for that hour that it was on and watched WCW Saturday Night. It's the first time I saw Sting. Like in the surfer paint and everything. It was awesome. It was cool. So, and that's the only times I really got to watch it was when I was at my grandma's house. But I didn't but once, cable started to evolve and change is when we got WCW Nitro on TNT as, Time Warner Cable became more prevalent and started taking over a lot of the cable contracts and stuff like that. And, basically just combining all these smaller cable companies into one bigger thing and offering services, across the board. So they get TNT, 1996, WCW Nitro debuts. Or not 96, but, late 90s, mid 90s, WCW debuts. I'm hooked from there. WCW Monday Nitro. That's what I watched. I watched Nitro live every week and taped VHS, video recorded Monday Night Raw. I was more interested in, the NWO storyline and, some of the other stuff that was going on in WCW than I was for a lot of stuff that was going on in WWE during the Attitude Era. I mean, I still watched it, obviously, because I'm a wrestling fan. I'm going to watch wrestling. I love wrestling. So, but to see something like this Nitro stage come through, it just hit me with like this wave of like, oh my God, like that stage is like so iconic. Like all the stuff had happened on Nitro, and you just start thinking about all this stuff from, the WCW Nitros and watching this. So yeah, I mean, you have all your points around this, why it failed, everything like that. So was it the price? Was it the figure selection? Like I said, I understand the figure selection. Of course, Hogan, Ultimate Warrior, Rey Mysterio, those guys, yeah, they have ultimates. Rey Mysterio has an ultimate coming out. A couple of them actually in the near future. Ultimate Warrior's had a few ultimates. Hulk Hogan's had a crap ton of ultimates. Did we really need more Mysterios, Warriors, and Hogans? No. But to make this cost effective for Mattel, to get the price of that stage down to $400, that's what they had to do. Yeah, they gave us, two new Ultimate figures in Scott Steiner, which would have been a first time in the line Scott Steiner, and it's like right after he joined the NWO. So his ring attire isn't, it's not that WWE ring attire that everybody was expecting. No, that's not what you're going to get. The red and black trunks that people are saying, oh, you should have been in this. That wasn't WCW. That was WWE. This is a WCW themed thing. So the Scott Steiner in the singlet with the black star on the front, which probably would have had his face on the back that said Big Papa Pump across the back of his tights, across the back of that singlet, is what we were getting with the sunglasses. Steiner didn't start wearing that headdress until well into his WCW, like well into before WCW went out. Like when he finally broke out as a single star outside of the NWO. That's when we got the headdress, Scott Steiner, and all that other stuff. Like that wasn't what they were going for with that, and that definitely wasn't around the time of that Nitro stage. I mean, if I'm wrong and you can point that out to me and show me that I'm wrong, then that's cool. I admit it. But you're looking at WCW Nitro from like the mid 90s up until like 97, 98. Probably I think 99 is when they changed over to the big WCW stage that had like the newer logo and everything. So, but yeah. And the DDP Ultimate, like a lot of people complaining, oh, it's just an Elite that they converted to an Ultimate. But that's literally what they did with the last Ultimate Warrior that came out. We've got a WrestleMania 7 Ultimate Warrior. We have a Defining Moments Elite for that, but we have an Ultimate, which is a huge upgrade to the Defining Moments one that we have. And, people are still buying that. Same thing with the Macho Man. That's the next Macho Man that's coming out. WrestleMania 7 Macho Man. That was Macho Man's first Mattel figure, was that Defining Moments Macho Man. Now we're getting it made as an Ultimate, which is leaps and bounds better than the one that we had previously. So, like, I don't understand, like, where the hate's coming from for this. Like, Galactus was a core character for Marvel Legends. Marvel Legends Galactus got funded, whereas the Robbie Reyes Ghost Rider with the car didn't get funded, because that was, I can understand what came with that. It wasn't worth $400 when that car, there's other stuff similar to that car that sells for way less, and it's like around the same size. So, but like, I'm not going to bash the crowdfunds. The crowdfunds are a way for these companies to get stuff to the market that generally would not work or sell, or would be too big for retail space. And that's what a lot of people don't understand, what the crowdfunding's for. Like, that's the purpose of the crowdfund, just to kind of see if the interest is there. And, the interest for the Nitro ring was there. It just wasn't 5,000 backers worth of interest, unfortunately, as we saw, because the campaign ended. But I don't know. Like, I don't have any negativity towards this. Like I said, I wasn't negative about it to begin with. Yeah, when they first announced the price of $400, it's like, oh, really? $400? But then when you read into the details and you see all the stuff that they're doing with this, like, okay, so $400. Okay, I see that. And I see all the stuff that they added, the electronics, the repositionable lights, like all this other stuff that they had with this thing, and the huge amount of attention to detail that went into this too. And it's like everything from the wiring, the way the wiring hung on the scaffolding, everything like that. It's okay. And then when you listen to interviews with Steve Ozer, Action Figure Attack, on social media, and he's talking about, all this other stuff, and then the cost of the stage actually being way, way more, way higher than that $400 that they got it down to. That was the ground floor for the price on that was the $400, and that's, yeah. So, I mean, it sucks that we're missing out on that. Like in all honesty, like, I had a spot picked out for that and everything. Plans to move my new gen entrance stuff to the shelf and start building a new gen shelf around that entrance stage, and converting my new gen ring over to a WCW one, because I have the ring skirts and stuff to do that. But yeah, that maybe one day we'll be ready for it. So we'll see. But and this is honest, this is going to affect future crowdfunding. So we're probably not going to get anything that size again. So everybody else clamoring for, the Titantron from, Monday Night Raw, like the big screen and everything like that, that's probably not going to happen. Because a lot of the tooling and stuff that would have went into the Nitro stage for some of those parts would have been used on that Titantron stage. So yeah, we'll see where we go from here. So, like I said, a lot of negativity from people since this campaign started. It's like, if you don't want it, you don't want it. There's no reason to complain about it. Nobody cares. So just move forward. And that's what we're going to do. We're going to move forward. We're going to go do a little figure hunting. Let's see what we got this week. I didn't see a whole lot of new stuff, honestly. Like, it's kind of like a lull period right now. There's stuff that's coming out, like that's shipping, like through Ringside Collectibles, stuff like that. I don't know when we're going to see new AEW figures on the shelf. Like, the only thing that I've seen that was new in the last couple weeks is the Walmart exclusive MJF, and that's pretty much it. Like, other than that, I'm seeing the same stuff on the shelves. You know, we're getting restocked on those storage shell turtles and like the set of villains that they put out, with Splinter, the Foot Soldier, Shredder, Krang, Bebop, Rocksteady, Leatherhead, and seeing restocks on those. But I'm excited to see that new wave with Genghis and Wingnut and Rat King, and Baxter Stockman come through. Those are some pretty awesome figures, and some of my favorites from that vintage turtle line, especially Wingnut and Screws. Love those guys. They're freaking awesome. Excuse me. I had to take a little drink there. But I did find some cool stuff. I'm going to kick it off here. Show what we picked up here. We picked up the 4-inch McFarlane. Or this is McFarlane. No, this is Spin Master. Sorry. They're right next to the same stuff. The 4-inch Spin Master 89 Batman. So pretty cool for that. Yeah, we're going to go right ahead and pop this right open while we're doing this now. So there's some unboxing stuff for you. So this is actually pretty cool. I love the 89 Batman. That's probably, people in my age bracket, that's a lot of their first exposure to Batman was like the 66 reruns of the 66 Batman series with Adam West and Burt Ward. And that holds like a special place in my heart. And, you know, I don't know if you can see, yeah, you can't see that shelf over there, but I got a shelf over here on the other side of me that has a lot of my Batman stuff on there. So it's 89 Batman, 66 Batman, which I'm going to have to make some space on there because I got some other stuff that needs to go on there. But let's take a look at this here first. We got some pretty decent articulation. So you got the arm right there, and then the elbow should bend. There we go. That's cool. No swivel at the wrist, but that's cool. No waist swivel. Got the head, the leg. Bam, look at that. That's nice. And the knee. That's cool. This thing is around like $10. So for that amount of articulation, that is awesome. Comes with a little grappling gun and a little batarang. There's a little batarang. Whoop, get in the camera. So that's pretty cool. We'll definitely add that to the shelf. So that can be another Batman to throw in like the Batwing or the Batmobile there. That is awesome. Pretty psyched for that. All right, and sticking with Batman, I did find the Target exclusive McFarlane 7-inch Batman, unmasked Bruce Wayne Batman. So that's pretty awesome. My wife had suggested that we not open this one because I was all set to rip this thing apart, but she wants to keep it in the box, which is cool. Like, I'll allow it this one time, which means I just have to buy another one that I can open. So, but yeah, it's pretty cool. Target exclusive. And you see the renderer, the drawing of Batman on the back there. So one thing I will say, if you are a Batman fan, that's one thing that McFarlane is not short of, and it is Batman figures. So what else we pick up? We picked up the Elite 100 Rock. Finally found this. I've been looking for this for a while since that Elite 100 Sidekick shipper came out. This always seems to be the first one that's gone, is the Rock and Andre. Usually what I find left hanging are Cena's and Becky's and Ray's all over the place. So, but I was pretty excited to get this. The biggest reason why I wanted this, because, you know, I have a few Rock figures that are similar to this one. But the biggest reason was that Brahma Bull title belt, which we're going to pop this open here. The artwork on the back of this box is amazing, by the way. So that is freaking sweet. Like, love that. Try not to rip that up too much on the back there. But yeah, that's cool. They should have did, like, a while ago, they did the, had a few Elite series where they had, like, the little bases and they had, like, the art thing that went behind it. They should have did that or brought that back for Elite 100. That would have been pretty cool. Like the picture that's on the back of the box. All right, so let's, actually, I'm going to take his sunglasses off because I think as soon as I pop this out of the box, those sunglasses are going to be flying. It's usually what happens. Of course, it's got these damn rubber bands, which is, I guess, a lot better than the freaking zip ties. There we go. The cool thing, it actually comes with 2 extra sets of hands. So he's got the Just Bring It hands, open hands, and the hands that he's got on there now are closed fists. So we'll go ahead and pop those up there. You can see the Just Bring It hands and the open fist hands. We don't really need to take those out. I'm not going to sit here and swap hands out. You can see the Rock there in that nice, awesome Brahma Bull jersey. This, of course, is Velcro down the back, which is pretty cool. So much better with the cloth shirts on here. The downside is sometimes they do stain the figures. I mean, you can't get those stains out of there, which kind of sucks. But, I mean, but definitely. So, bam, right there. The sideburns. Love the sideburns. You got the red and black detailing right there on the tights, which is awesome. Of course, the Brahma Bull tattoo there on the side. But the piece de resistance, I should say, for this specific figure is that Brahma Bull title, which is awesome. Like the new title belts that Mattel's doing, like I don't know if they're doing different, but the ones that come with Elite 100 look really freaking amazing. Like a lot better than the belts that have come out previously. Especially looking at the SmackDown Women's title that comes with Becky. It just seems to be a little shinier compared to the previous ones that they've put out, and it just looks like it's made a little better. I don't know if that was done specifically for Elite 100, or if that's something that they're going to continue to do going forward. Hopefully it's something they continue to do. I definitely need to pick up that Rey Mysterio, as I didn't notice before when I was kind of double checking. Just happened to look at it the other day and saw that it's the actual WCW Cruiserweight title. So it's not the WWE branded Cruiserweight title that came out with Rey Mysterio in the past and with Dean Malenko. This is actually the WCW branded logoed Cruiserweight title. So that's definitely a reason to pick up that Mysterio right there. And why won't this thing buckle in? All right, whatever. That's cool. That Rock is awesome. I do like that Rock figure. So classic Rocks. What else we got here? I actually found this. The Across the Spider-Verse Marvel Legends Miles Morales. This one's going to stay in box. I got plans for this. Shamik Moore, who does the voice of Miles, is coming to GalaxyCon Raleigh this summer. So I want to get this bad boy signed. I thought it'd be pretty awesome to get Shamik's signature on here. So he's awesome too. If you haven't watched the Wu-Tang series on Hulu, dude killed it as Raekwon. Yeah, freaking sweet, man. Definitely check that out. What else we got here? Well, hold on to these though. It's a lot of wrestling stuff in the last couple of weeks here. But again, sorry for the squeaky chair, but I picked this up Walmart. A couple of the Walmarts had these on clearance. They all came off of that shipper. So basically what they've been doing is clearancing out the overstock from those shippers and just kind of scooting them out the door. So $11 down from 20. Like, couldn't beat that. Like, cannot beat that at all for this awesome Mario figure. So hopefully this holds up better than some of the other ones. Like the Sonic figures are terrible and they're like severely disappointing. Yeah, actually, you know, I kind of want to open this. Let me put these down here. Get them out of the way for a second. So let's open up Mario. If you are a mock collector, I apologize. I really don't, but yeah. Loose all the way, baby. These things are like... the amount of work that these sculptors and stuff put into these, especially like with the wrestling figures and things like that, like... I just can't really appreciate it inside the box. Definitely got to pop it out of the box, take a look at it. First things first, the plunger. That's pretty cool. Pretty awesome. And then take a Mario. Bam. That is really cool. That looks pretty awesome. The eyes and everything on there, like they really nailed the movie look for this. This is really sweet. A lot of articulation, which all the Mario figures, a lot of the Mario figures from Jakks have some really good articulation with them. I think this might be a little bit better, honestly. Might justify the $20 price point instead of the $10 price point that these things usually come with. So yeah, that's pretty cool. It's nice little elbow bends there, and then you got quite a bit of articulation here in the leg. Bam. And then the foot right there. So yeah, so you can get a lot of decent posing with this too. So, and like bam. That's cool. So, and of course the plunger will just slide right in his hand there. Awesome. I like these. These are pretty cool. I should have jumped on these before they went on clearance, but they're clearance only, overstock at Walmart. Some stores, probably not every store, but might have to pick these up at some point. These are pretty cool. Love that. Awesome. All right. Like I said, this one was pretty wrestling heavy. I actually picked up a couple figures for a friend of mine. If you remember, I talked about those on the podcast a while ago, or this video, whatever. A couple weeks ago, I picked up the Top Picks Bobby Lashley, and then prior to that, the Walmart exclusive Wardlow for a friend of mine. He actually was able to, funny story with this, he was actually one of our local Targets and found this, Elite Series 11. This was within the last, 3 weeks. Elite Series 11, Bam Bam Bigelow. Never saw this. Never saw this on the shelves. And he stumbles across it in a random Target, just sitting on the shelf. And it was there for a couple weeks. Nobody picked it up. So, but the box on it is pretty beat up, as you can see. So it looks like it was shoved behind something somewhere, and they found it while they're doing inventory or something, or it was just in a messed up box. But I'm pretty stoked to have this. So, especially since I couldn't find it. And we get the freaking ECW, was it the television championship with this? How awesome is that? 2 sets of hands again with these guys too. So you can see the extra hands there. Pretty cool. You get Bam Bam in his gray and white, yellowish coloring there, and then the ECW television title. Look at that. That belt is awesome. That looks great. I was going to buy that thing, buy just the belt off of eBay, but I wasn't paying $30 for it. That's insane. This thing was $10. It's got a couple smudges on the face. Paint smudges there, as you can see. Got to zoom in there, bam. So, or not zoom in, but focus. I don't know if you can see that very well, but there's a couple smudges there. I mean, no big deal. We can probably get those off of there. Oh, but it's still pretty cool. That's an awesome face sculpt on this Bam Bam too. I've got a couple of his other ones. Did I get the Walmart one? I know I have the first one that came out with his WrestleMania ring gear from when he wrestled Lawrence Taylor. So I got that one. That one was pretty awesome, which they did another one of in the Greatest Hits line. But to have an ECW era Bam Bam is pretty cool, which is kind of similar to a WCW era Bam Bam, because they're about the same, literally within the same time frame. So awesome. And then, of course, sticking with more WCW, he also picked up this Hogan for me. At the time when he picked it up, I couldn't find it anywhere. And then after he picks it up for me, I see 6 or 7 of them on the shelf. So this is pretty cool. Like I said, more WCW stuff. This is pre-NWO Hogan. Literally, he's the 3rd member of the NWO. You just don't know it yet, Hogan. So this is pretty cool. Of course, this one's got 2 sets of hands as well. It's got the I can't hear you hands. And the open fist hands there too. Comes with the Hulkster weight belt, which, all these later Hogan figures have a weight belt. Got the bandana, which I just flung at my face. And that sweet WCW Hogan shirt. And, of course, these freaking plastic zip tied into the box. So, cool. Got him out. I know a lot of people aren't big Hogan fans anymore, and that's understandable. I'm not a big of a fan as I used to be, but there's some moments that Hogan was a part of that were pretty much iconic for wrestling, and to have as we're starting to get into the WCW versions of Hogan, there are some that are pretty cool. Like this one. which is very reminiscent of the Toy Biz WCW Hogan, with the same pants, same boots. Of course, that one didn't have a shirt on or anything, but yeah, this is actually pretty cool. The weight belt's pretty cool too. Of course, it says Hulkster on there and all that fun stuff. So let's go ahead and see if we can get this one to snap into place. There we go. Why did that snap easier than that damn Brahma Bull title? But here we go. The weight belt on the Hogan with his WCW Hulkster shirt. That's cool. So he'll go right onto the WCW shelf, and he's got a little smudge right there, a little paint smudge on the back. It's all right. So we'll see if we can get it off. If we can't get it off, like, nobody sees the back of the figure on the shelf. It's just me that sees it when I take them off to clean them. So cool stuff there. So awesome. So that a little bit of weekly purchases and unboxing all in that little fig hunt thing. So and stuff. Local events is brought to you by the Triangle Terracon, taking place October 8th, 2023 at the Durham Armory. Be sure to head over to facebook.com/Triangle Terracon for more information. Be sure to like and follow the page as well. You can find links there for tickets, which you can find on Eventbrite. All the links for the page will be here in the description, and guest announcements are coming soon. So some cool guests, a couple cool guests, big guests, solid guests, I should say, that have not done signings in the Raleigh-Durham area. So you're definitely not going to want to miss out that first guest announcement, which should be dropping relatively soon. So definitely keep your eyes peeled on facebook.com/Triangle Terracon. Speaking of Comic Cons, let's head over to GalaxyCon Raleigh. Announced like a whole bunch of new people coming. We got Dr. Britt Baker, DMD, showing up. That's gonna be pretty awesome. They added Bret Hart, Jimmy Hart, Hacksaw Jim Duggan, Brutus the Barber Beefcake, which I'm pretty stoked for Brutus. I have a Jakks Classic Superstars 3-pack of Hogan, Brutus, and Jimmy Hart. Signed by Hogan and Jimmy Hart. I just need Brutus's signature on there. So I was pretty stoked when I saw them post that Brutus Beefcake was going to be here. So that's going to be awesome. Who else do we have? Paula Abdul. They added Paula Abdul for this. How awesome is that? Especially here in my age bracket, or a little older. Do love some Paula Abdul. Let's see. Mick Foley's going to be here as well. Scroll back up here to the top. I mentioned Shamik Moore, of course, who does the voice of Miles in Into the Spider-Verse and Across the Spider-Verse. We've got Charlie Cox, Daredevil himself, the Kingpin, Vincent D'Onofrio. Lots of cool stuff here. Stephen Amell. Like this is probably one of the biggest and most star-studded, like, packed freaking Galaxy Cons that they've done in a while. We got Marina Sirtis, of course, Star Trek fame, and she also was the voice of Demona. So that might be actually something pretty cool to pick up an extra Demona and get that signed to go with my signed Goliath that I have. That'd be pretty awesome. Lots of cool stuff coming on. Will Friedle, of course, who was Terry McGinnis and Batman Beyond, and Ron Stoppable, of course, Boy Meets World. You got Ryder Strong, Danielle Fishel, huge wrestling fan, by the way. Danielle Fishel, would love to get her on the Wrestle Again podcast and talk some wrestling with her. That'd be pretty fun. Jaleel White, of course, Steve Urkel himself, the voice of Sonic in those old school 90s Sonic cartoons. A lot of cool stuff coming. So you can check out GalaxyCon.com, Raleigh events, stuff like that. Rachel Lee Cook, how awesome is that? Josie herself from Josie and the Pussycats. That's awesome. Tank Girl, Lori Petty. Sweet. So yeah, so we got that coming up. Like we mentioned, the plug for Triangle Terracon, October 8th. Can't wait till you guys see the guest announcements for that. That's gonna be pretty cool. And I think that's pretty much all I've got so far for local events. As far as like Comic Cons and stuff like that, let me just double check here. Sorry, I'm a terrible journalist and did not come prepared. Waiting for pages to load. That's what we're doing. Waiting for pages to load. So I'll tell you, like, you try to look something up and then doesn't come up when you want it to come up. But when you're not trying to look for it, it's right there. So. All right. If you are a member of the NC Underground Toy Swap group, I believe there is some toy swaps coming up in the near future. I know they posted something on here not that long ago. Beep. Yeah, there's actually one coming up on Saturday, May 10th. It's the Loyal Moose Swap. And that one is happening at Winterville, North Carolina. Needless Toys and Collectibles, North Carolina Underground Toy Swap present the Loyal Moose Swap. These are, of course, free events. This is going to happen May 20th, 2023, obviously. 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. And this is happening, like I said, Winterville, North Carolina. 5393 Reedy Branch Road, Winterville, North Carolina. So that should be fun if y'all are out in that area. Nice little toy swap for you there. Cool. So I think that's pretty much it as far as local events that we haven't covered yet. So cool. I think that's all I've got. Really, let me close it out. So I said, just like and subscribe. It's just that's what happens when you drink when you podcast. Like and subscribe here on youtube.com/forthecollection. Check us out on Instagram at @for_the_collection. Also be sure to check out the WrestleGeddon podcast. All that fun stuff. And that's all I got for you guys. So thank you guys for tuning in again and listening to me talk toys with you and stuff I've seen and all that fun stuff for about 30 minutes. So appreciate it. And we'll chat with you all next time. Later.